Yes.
12, 15, 23. Uh, and we're going to talk to you about ACT Matrix certification for substance abuse counselors. This is not a new thing, folks. We already have quite a few substance abuse counselors, whatever you want to call them, and peer counselors and
Yeah.
such like that. They're in the substance use field, and they or their organization have found it useful to get them certified. And so we're going to show you how that is, or we'll tell you. But first, a little bit of housekeeping.
Housekeeping. All right. So your first order of business would be to go up top, click the notification button. And even as I said that, my notification button for my own Crowdcast popped up. How about that? So it works. So that way you'll get notified when we go live and other things too. And then after you do that, right down to the bottom, and please take advantage of the chat function in Crowdcast. We do, as you can see, Kevin has weighed in. He's up there in Maine still. I'm still down here in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. I was just telling Kevin that it's not too far from here. Washington crossed to Delaware. He's going to be crossing Delaware again this weekend. He's always trying to get to the other side, apparently. Still. So, and then, chat in where you're from. We always like to know where people are from. And then just keep right on going over to the left, and you'll see that great big long green button. And that is our current offer right now, folks. It's a value-laden offer. Let's put it that way, right? It's got a lot of stuff in it where you can sign up and proceed along the way toward ACT Matrix certification. And then while you're doing that, you can earn up to 19 CEs, continuing education credits, APA approved, which is a huge savings in and of itself, the way that we package this up for you. And later on, you can be able to sit for certification. We're going to go into some of that today during the Crowdcast, and especially for you substance abuse counselors. And I think that's it for the housekeeping, Kevin.
That's it.
Yep.
So first and foremost, you do not need to be certified to do the ACT Matrix with folks. We are not putting a barrier.
Not what we're trying to promote here.
No. We just know that some people and even whole agencies find it useful to be able to say folks are certified. And so we have attorneys who are certified. We have psychologists, psychiatrists, medical doctors.
Business specialists.
Right. Coaches, physical therapists.
Yeah. Acting coaches. Yeah.
We have a lot. We have probably 60 or 70 certified.
Oh, easy.
And if not more. We just did 3 more over in Britain. So we're not, and use it, have a blast. But if you need to be certified, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
Why is it a great deal? Because certification itself costs $650. Yep. So we're basically saying we'll throw in $374.95 worth of CEUs.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go bad, folks. Your certification fee sits there for when you're ready. And now we're going to talk about what that means. Well, it doesn't mean you're going to pass a written test. There's no essays, no multiple choice
study, no manual,
no nothing like that. It is purely performance-based, meaning that you're going to show how you can show the matrix to others to Felidai. And you do that in the form of usually a Zoom call. We get on with you and you go and you show a couple of loops around the matrix. People might say, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, it's a really big deal, actually. It's a very big deal.
That's a very big deal.
And if you've never seen it before, you just don't know how to do it. And even if you followed along by numbers and did it, at first, it wouldn't have the flow necessary for it to be really useful. Okay. So what we're looking for is, we'll hear it. We just hear you flowing through the presentation, the showing, the engaging people with the point of view. And so, and what else do we hear? We hear that you're non-judgmental. And that's the huge thing about all of this that we do, is there's no judging. We don't judge. We just, so, and it's like we want to give people this little peek at their behavior in time. You just take a look at it. You just peek at it. And then after you've taken a peek at it, well, actually you go on about your business. Okay. But in order to take that peek non-judgmentally, well, it needs to be non-judgmental. Other than that, all kinds of stuff comes in and messes up that quick look one takes. So, in case anybody's wondering, very quickly, the way you do the matrix is you draw a horizontal or vertical line. I don't care which one you draw first. And then you bisect the other line just like Phil has it right there. So boom, and when you do those two lines, you now have formed 4 quadrants, 4 spaces that you see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's how you get started. And you say to folks, you basically ask them, is it okay if I show you a point of view, a way of looking at things? And that's it. Well, everybody I've ever asked that say, sure.
I have never had a no yet.
I've never had a no. It's like, and folks, that's what it is. It's a point of view. It's a way of looking at things. So great. So with that done, you don't really have to worry about all the other words too much. Don't worry. Yeah. What you really want to hang on is that lower right question, which is, okay, we'll start this point of view by asking and answering this question. Who's important to you? And now you can do it a couple of ways, folks. You can have them answer it right away, or you can just say, just notice that question. Yeah. Notice the answers popping up in your head. If you want to do it that way, fine. If you want to have them throw answers at you, like my wife, and or my wife's important to me, my husband's important to me, my dog's important to me. They'll say stuff like that, and that's fine too. It depends, but still, it's going to sound pretty well the same way. So, and what you're teaching folks and yourself is that in this point of view, important people go in the lower right. Check. Okay, so the next thing we take a look at, is your yucky thoughts and feelings. So now you notice within yourself what kind of yucky thoughts and feelings show up inside of you often. For example, fear. Fear is a very popular one. Also, pain is also awfully popular. So you give them those kind of examples and they go, oh, okay, I get it. That's the kind of stuff you're talking about. And everybody has yucky stuff that shows up inside of us. We don't like it. That's why Phil and I called it yucky. So now you have that in place. Then you say, okay, now up at the top is behaviors. This is really where the rubber hits the road here, folks. Behaviors. And then the upper left is relief behaviors. meaning you're getting relief from those yucky feelings in the lower left. How do you get relief? Well, if you're in substance use, well, a lot of people use drugs to get relief from yucky feelings. And the rub in that is that, I mean, the medical community prescribes painkillers to get rid of pain. So it can be a very legit. So it is what it is. We just say it's a relief move. Boom. And then in the upper right, you say, well, this is the stuff. I mean, Phil has contentment in there. There's an old word we used to use was toward, which actually works here. What do you do to move toward who's important to you? Like, and most people their brain will tend to start to complicate that. So you give them an example. For example, I talk to my wife. Ta-da. Oh, you mean that simple? Yeah, that simple. Because it's an observable behavior. Like using a drug, drinking or whatever. Well, I can see you doing that. Over on the right, talking to someone, I can see you doing that. That's it. And so now you got the 4 quadrants. So now we know what goes in them. And to finish it up, you say, well, now you might just notice all this stuff. Maybe, maybe not, but you could. And you can notice who's important to you, and you can notice your yucky stuff showing up, and you can notice yourself doing relief moves, and you can notice yourself doing toward moves, and voila. And maybe you will notice all that stuff, and maybe you won't. Whichever, in this moment in time, right now, by doing this, you're taking a peek at yourself, a non-judgmental peek at yourself. At what's going on inside of you, that's the lower part, and what do your behaviors look like? And in the end, you wonder, gee, is all of this getting me where I want to go in life? And you actually don't answer that question. You just wonder. And just maybe, if you're the type, and a lot of people are like this, they come back to the point of view. Maybe in a day, maybe in a week, whatever. And whenever you come back to that point of view, you're taking another peek at yourself. You're looking at yourself. You're noticing yourself. And you can notice that question. Well, is all this working to get me where I want to go in life? Once again, don't have to worry about answering that question. Just go on about your business. You're not, until it shows up again, that you notice this stuff. Now, eventually you might notice who's important to you. You might notice yucky stuff showing up, and you might notice yourself doing a relief move, notice yourself doing a toward move, whatever you might. And that's how this goes. But each time you do that, there's this little snapshot of you.
Picture.
A little picture of you and of your behaviors. Because, well, folks, let's face it, it all comes down to behaviors.
Oh, dear. There's
this, a guy we do coaching with talks about intention versus impact. And we all have great intentions inside of ourselves. But the impact of our behaviors, now that's different. How people are impacted by our behaviors. Very important. So we tend to judge ourselves based on our intent. Yep. I'm working at being a good person. And then we judge others by how they act. We don't give them credit for their intentions.
Oh, I like what you're doing.
Well, guess what? You're being judged, or you're being, you get along with people or not based on your intention. Right. So that's it. Now you say, well, what's this have to do with substance use?
Well, good question.
Substance use often, believe it or not, folks, think about it, it often starts in the upper right as a toward move.
Oh, let's put it up there.
Right. You're trying to be part of the crowd. I'm trying to be fit in. We humans love to fit in. You know? Maybe you needed to get rid of pain so you could do something else.
Yeah.
You'd say, well, really? I think it was a Timor move. There you go.
There
Okay.
you go. Yep.
All right. It can be that. And then oftentimes they start that way, but then because of the physiology of alcohol and opioids and other things, well, cravings set in rather quickly, and cravings clearly go in the lower left. They don't feel good. And of course, the way you fix the craving is use, right? So now you got that thing going. But you just notice that. That's part of the whole thing. And the whole idea, folks, is you just assist people in taking a look at this. That's it. They're not good because of it. They're not bad because of it.
Right.
It's non-judgmental. And non-judgmental means we don't judge it as good, and we don't judge it as bad. We don't even judge it as neutral. We just don't judge it. We just put it up there, and it is what it is. And it literally is what it is. Judgment is not necessary. Look at it. So that's it. There's another loop that people can show if you're working with a group, and you can ask in the lower right quadrant, hey, we make this easy, folks. You can ask, what's our shared purpose? And that just replaces the who's important question. Okay. And you, two or more people with you, you have a discussion. What's our shared purpose? You might be in an AA meeting or something, and people say, well, our shared purpose is sobriety. Okay, we'll write that down. You can write down whatever you think might be a shared purpose. People talk about it. But groups of people do a whole lot better when they have a clear concept, a clear understanding of what the shared purpose is. Like a baseball team or a football team, something. They need to keep the shared purpose in mind. It's not that easy to do, folks. But nevertheless, that's it. Lower left, guess what? Yucky stuff. We'll call it social yucky stuff, but it's still yucky stuff. Upper left, guess what? Relief moves. Same stuff. But now comes in the don't show up to anything kind of stuff. Just avoid people. That becomes a relief move in the upper left. So you don't join with the group, you avoid the group. That's what we mean. And in the upper right, what are we going to do to accomplish the shared purpose? That's simple. And then you say, well, we as a group can notice all of this stuff. Our shared purpose, our yucky stuff, our relief moves, and our, well, shared purpose moves, things we're doing to accomplish this stuff. And that's noticing. We can all notice that stuff. And once again, we just take a peek at it. That's what we're doing, is taking a peek at it. And that's the way the human condition is. It only lasts for a moment, folks.
Yes.
Now, what Phil and I know, in both the substance abuse world and elsewhere, there's a whole lot of people that have found a lot of usefulness out of taking those peaks over and over and over. I don't think anybody ever got a lot out of once. That
would be.
I don't think so.
Astounding.
But when you get up to 4, 5, 6, 12, 15, 20, 25 times of taking a peek and going on about your business, taking a peek and going on about your business, it starts to accumulate. And what people then report, and this is based on the thousands of people that we have talked to.
Yeah.
They report doing stuff more consistent with the life that they want to be living.
That's the key.
That's it. Now, I didn't say they stopped drinking. I didn't say they stopped using heroin. I don't know if they will or not. What they report is doing more stuff that is consistent with being the person they want to be. That's life, folks. That's that's it. So why do people, alcohol folks, counselors love this? You're off the hook.
You're free.
you're free, you know. You're being honest. The honesty is that you do not have control over whether somebody else uses. And even when you say, well, it's not control, it's influence. Well, that influence is a tricky thing.
Oh, it's like a hair's breadth away from control. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky, and it's just, so we just don't do that.
Right.
What we do is show people how to do this non-judgmentally. Now, why is the non-judgmental so? Well, you don't want to teach the person to judge themselves because they're already really good at that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about Phil, but I'm pretty good at judging.
Oh man, I learned that. I got that skill down cold many years ago.
Right. Well,
right around kindergarten, I think.
All the people we know in the Western world, and a lot of them we know people in the Middle Eastern world and other worlds too. They're really good at judging themselves too.
They all shake their head about the judgmentalism.
Right. Well, and this is just a peak, a non-judgmental peak. Okay. So when you're using it with others, you use this to non-judgmentally listen, or that we debate this, or listen non-judgmentally.
Whatever way you want to go.
Whatever way you want to the responses. Who's important to you? You know, my lizard is important.
Yeah. Cool.
In a lot of circles, they say, no, you can't have a lizard that's important. And this, it's just accepted. Just bring on the lizard. They can say their Afghan is important to them. Okay. It's just non-judgmental. It just is. You know? And so now I will say, people say, well, what if somebody said they were going to shoot somebody or shoot themselves? Okay, well then fine. Yeah. Break off of it and say, now we got to do something. Right. But you know, I can count on 0 fingers the number of times that's happened.
Yeah.
This is just none. That hasn't happened.
It's not true. Nope.
It's not the nature of this anyway. But that's it. So in the end, you're listening to the person. That includes, you know, making eye contact with them, and a great way, I mean, is sort of repeat what they said. Oh, so you said, you know, pain is in your yucky stuff. Oh.
Yeah. You said you use some drugs to relieve your pain.
Exactly. That's it. You can just repeat it and engage with them and talk. Now, what you are doing is teaching the person the point of view so that they can duplicate it themselves.
The same thing when they're not with you.
When they're not with you, they can redraw it and fill it in themselves.
Now they've seen it, they've experienced it.
And so when you first do it, you'll be clunky at it.
Most definitely. Expect clumsiness to show up.
You'll just be clumsy at it. That's okay.
Yeah. Right.
You were clumsy when you learned to walk, you know.
You learn how to ride a bike.
You were clumsy there, right? So the good news about this clumsy, it really doesn't last very long.
Yeah. No harmful side effects come with this kind of clumsiness.
No.
Not going to break.
No. And as you can tell, it's really simple. You just learn and really the 4 questions and noticing, and voila, you're done. And then the next trick, not a trick, it's just a skill, is to show it and get responses from folks non-judgmentally. and show them that you're listening. Because we cannot stress enough that showing people that you are listening to them is an extraordinarily powerful thing.
Feeling heard in and of itself
It's just,
is a wonderful, wonderful thing for people.
we were having this conversation, with a guy that we consult with, and like in a doctor's office or a hospital, they say, well, our shared purpose is to give great care, great patient care. Okay. Well, that sounds like a nice, lofty thing to say. And that is not a behavior. Saying it out loud is a behavior, maybe, but
nothing has
happened. The fancy words for how do you operationalize that? Okay. Well, then usually they'll come up with all kinds of fancy stuff to operationalize it. But we know from loads of research, you will get rated for giving great care, or you'll go a long way toward getting rated for great care if you make eye contact with your clients, patients, and if they really know in their heart of hearts that you're listening to them.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a physician or whatever, you need to be competent at whatever intervention you're doing as well, and your evaluation and all that stuff. We're not discounting that, but you can be as competent as you want, but if you're not doing the eye contact and showing people that you're listening, they will not rate you as good care.
They'll say, well, here's the thing they'll say: poor bad bedside manner. That's
the term is bedside, and it's really simple to have good bedside manner.
And not much bedside manner there, right?
Yep. And so I'm just giving you an example. So for us, we're focused on that.
Yeah.
We
lead with that.
That's what we're looking for, is that, and of course, to do that, you need to get so that presenting this stuff, the lines and the quadrants and the noticing, is all just second nature to you.
You know where you're going. You know where you want to end up.
When that is second nature to you, that you can now turn your attention to the one or more people that you're dealing with.
Right.
And we can, and it's just like good bedside manner. Phil and I can hear it. When you present it, we can hear it. Not hard. And in reality, you'll know when you can do this well enough to do that. We have very few people show up and aren't ready for
hardly anybody I can think of right now
getting a certificate. Right. They all take the 30, 40, 50 times of practice and do it and get facile with it and get to where they're listening non-judgmentally, or if you prefer, non-judgmentally listening. We'll take either one, and we'll hear it, and you're good to go, and you'll be certified. But it's we call it performance-based.
Yep. And because it's performance-based, you're going to go at the pace that works for you.
Yeah, whatever works.
We don't have to train for you.
So if you want to sign up and get your certificate in a year, that's fine.
Yeah.
Not a problem. If you are in some place where you need CEs, this is a great place to, the green button down there, the great place is to purchase your CEs. And then if you want to in the future, or do it right away, because we know there's lots of people out there who are very good at doing this already, and they're not certified. And they don't need to be.
They're just doing it.
They're just doing it, and that's fine. And we encourage it. Really, we encourage it. But we know they're good. So maybe one of them might say, "Gee, at this price, I would like to get certified." Great, you could do it. Schedule a Zoom call with us in the next few days, and well,
off you go.
Off you go, and we can. If you want, we can put your name up in lights on our website. That's
And
up
if
to
you don't
you.
want, that's okay too.
We don't
Not-
force you to do that, but you can do that. And all kinds of stuff. So that's it. That's we don't have more to say. It's that simple, but at the same time, it's very powerful. I mean, certification may or may not be powerful, but the showing people the point of view, showing them how to take a peek at their life, and how to take a peek at it non-judgmentally, and while you're showing it to them, you listen to them non-judgmentally. Like you really cannot. I can't stress the power of it. It's just amazing. The results of that. It's very simple. So what problem do we have with it? We will tell you. There's lots of people that want more complicated. That's just
Yes.
simple. No, it's not. It works just fine, just the way it is. But academe and all kinds of other things demand more complexity out of it. But Phil and I know through thousands and thousands of people and hours of experience with this that complexity is not needed.
No.
But what I just showed you, how we went through it, that's the best.
Yep.
That's the best. You know? And they'll go, wow, that's interesting. Now, why would somebody say, wow, that's interesting? Because we're all interesting to ourselves.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah. What's your favorite person to talk about? You.
Like, oh wow, that's cool, right? And as I said, it's all non-judgmental. We're not here to diss anybody for using whatever. We're just not. We get a little hairy if they're going to hurt themselves or somebody else.
Oh, that safety thing.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
But that's not the nature of the issue.
No.
So, yeah, so we're not condoning any, going and hurting yourself or other people. That's no way. We would definitely draw the line. So, anyways, that's it, folks. Go do it. We'll be back about burnout next week.
Oh yeah.
Burnout. Because we have heard that a lot of people in the substance use disorder arena, the practitioners or even peer supports and all that, suffer from burnout. Linda, my God, Linda Lou, my goodness. Oh yeah. Well, we just did the whole thing, Linda, and you can talk to people about the great deal about certification. If you need CEUs and certification, that green button right there is the deal. And we'll leave, and by the way, we don't market like that's only going to stay there a week. No, it's going to stay there forever. We're not changing that any. Whatever you can. Now we do, by the way, we didn't mention there is a payment plan now.
Yes, you can pay as you go.
You can pay as you afford. So set up. I think it's 2 payments or 4 or 6, or you can choose
4, and then you can do 1 a month. And then if you need anything else, email us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, email us. But yeah, I know on that button, yeah, you can do up to 1 a month. So. Then we'll get you certified, and if that's useful to you. My gosh, I can't say it enough times. Oh. Well, can you hear me, Phil?
I can hear you just fine. Okay, she must be hearing us now because she said.
Who knows? But anyway, we were just signing off, and we'll go ahead and sign off. And you can listen to the recording. It's all recorded, all right here, same channel right here. And we'll be back next week to discuss burnout prevention.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Have a nice weekend. Stay safe.
Yes.